big game against Wolves. Same time kickoff as West Ham at home to Everton. Tonight is Sunderland at home to Nottingham Forest. We'll be keeping a keen eye on that game as well. We're going to start off with our predicted lineup. In terms of the team news, what have we got?
So, as De Zerbi said in his presser, a doggy ruled out for this weekend. Hopefully, it's only a 1 week injury. We know Vicario is out. We know Maddison is going to be in the squad, but he's not unavailable to play. Romero's missing the end of the rest of the season. We know Sarr is out for this week, but hopefully back next week. And they obviously follow Odegaard, Davis, Kudus, and Kulusevski, who are all pretty much confirmed to be out for the rest of the season. Obviously, and Romero on top of that as well. So, not a great situation again. It just seems as though the more the days go on, the more injuries we're picking up, and it's we've even just since Zerbi's come in, we've lost Kudus, we've lost Romero, now a doggy's gone down. So let's just hope we don't lose any more.
Yeah, absolutely. So the last 2 predicted lineups for Roberto De Zerbi's games, I think, have been quite hard to predict the lineup, but I think we might have a bit of an idea of what we're going to see now under Roberto De Zerbi, and I think this predicted lineup might get a little bit easier. Go for a 4-2-3-1 as we've been playing in the last couple of games. In goal, Vicario's out, so we know Antonin Kinski will most definitely be in goal. Yeah,
for sure. We also know Wolves, they like to obviously try and get the advantage from set pieces, and I think that's one thing Kinski as well been doing quite well in his first 2 games. He's brave. What I like about it is what I feel like with Vicario is when there's players around him, he struggles to come and get something on the ball, whereas Kinski's very brave. Either he's brave or he's stronger, one of the two. Because
confident in himself as well.
He seems to come and be able to get something on those crosses, and that's really encouraging. So, yeah.
Yes, Anthony Kinski in goal. Right back, Pedro Porro. I think he's been so important to Spurs in these last couple of games, and I think he's performing well right now.
Yeah, I think he's one of the beneficiaries of Zerbi so far. Unlucky to be on the losing side against Brighton. Got a good goal. Going to be super important in this game, I feel. Especially with Spence. If we play Spence, or no spoilers, but I think he's going to be the one probably going a bit more forward, maybe from wing back, from full back, as opposed to the other side where Doggy
would expect so. You expect so. He's just so important in the way we build up under every manager. And I feel like in the last couple of games, he's been tasked the one of consistently crossing the ball into the box, scored, could have got another goal last game as well. So let's hope he provides as much influence in this game as he did against Brighton. Right centre-back will be Kevin Danso. Obviously, I thought he had a very good game against Brighton, but he did make that mistake at the end, which was a crucial mistake. And if he doesn't, you're talking about probably 3 points coming Spurs' way, and Spurs are sitting outside the relegation zone right now. So it's very unfortunate and really poor that he did make that mistake. That mistake also, by the way, was followed on by this abhorrent, disgusting racial abuse that he suffered across social media, and nobody wants to see that. And it's just disgusting.
And following on from that, Tottenham players will be wearing in the warm-up tomorrow Stand Up to Racism shirts in support of Kevin Danso, which is obviously a very nice touch for them. So obviously Danso will be in the team. Yeah, I think in an alternate universe, he could have been playing on the other side of the for the opposition in this game. So we'll play. It was interesting hearing De Zerbi talk about him in the press conference as well, saying he confirmed that he's going to be here next season because he likes his attitude and he likes his character, which is, I thought, quite interesting because no one really expected him to leave, but I just think him confirming he's going to be here next season was quite interesting. But I like Danso. I think he did do well. I did think he wasn't as good as the other defenders, to be honest, but I also thought he did a lot of good stuff, and we might have been behind if it wasn't for him as well on the flip side. But yeah, that mistake was obviously very costly. But let's hope he has a stronger game, and I think they're going to play, Adam Armstrong up front, Wolves, and I think Danso is going to be looking at that, thinking, you ain't touching the ball today, I think.
Absolutely. Left centre-back will be the captain on the day, Mickey van de Ven. I was getting to the stadium, getting to my seat last week against Brighton, and I said to the people around me, I see a different look in Mickey van der Ven's eyes today. I see he was really up for it, and he played like it. It was his best performance in a long time. So let's hope he can stick with that same attitude, same mentality, because that hasn't been good enough for the most part of the second half of the season. But definitely an uptick in performance from him, and we're going to need him like that for the rest of the season. Yeah,
for sure. I think it was much better. I think he was, again, what I liked about him is he seemed to take a bit more responsibility on the ball in terms of his passing a bit more progressively. I thought he was looking really strong in the duels. He wasn't losing any of them. I think the main thing that's been really evident in his dip in form is just been like losing markers and letting people get in behind him, and obviously he got that red card, and that was really unlike Van der Ven. So it looks like in the last game he cut it out, but again, it's only one game, so let's hope he continues to improve. But again, this Wolves side, as much as they're a threat, you look at their forward line, and I think Van der Ven should be able to dominate it.
Should be. Yeah. And then to make up that back four, in the absence of Destiny Udogie, we're going Jed Spence. It could be Sousa, because he is back in the squad, but he did say some very good words about Jed Spence as well in the press conference. And obviously, Jed Spence came on for Destiny Udogie when he went off with about half an hour, 25 minutes to go in the Brighton game. So yeah, Jed Spence.
Yeah, I can see a world where he does start to get frustrated with Spence in this game and does bring on Sousa, only because the way Spence plays when he's a left back, he gets forward, but he just doesn't go on the outside. He doesn't trust his left foot, and he doesn't stretch the defence, so he doesn't create width. And that is going to be a big problem if, as anticipated, we're going to be playing Xavi out on the left-hand side, because Xavi needs that space to operate in the middle, and he needs that defender being dragged away, so he gets that space. And I think we did a good job of that against Brighton, and Udogie was doing a really good job of that. Now with Spence, maybe he adjusts things, because it's not like he hasn't played inverted fullbacks before, De Zerbi. So look, he's a very clever tactician. I'm sure he's thought of this, but we know this season it's been one of our big frustrations, hasn't it? Having Spence on that side and clogging up that space for the left winger. So let's hope we sort it out. But I'm sure defensively, I'm quite confident with him.
Yeah. So that's a back four with the goalkeeper Kinski in goal, Porro, Spence at wing back, Danso and Van der Ven at centre back. Moving on to the midfield, we're going to see a return to the lineup for Rodrigo Bentancur. A welcome return last week. I think he returned to the starting lineup a lot earlier than maybe we all thought. But he just offers that composure, that calmness, and being able to drive forward as well. So I loved Bentancur's performance, and let's hope he can last a bit longer in this game.
I think it probably goes to show how much he rates him or values him, because I think if it was another player, he probably doesn't risk it. But he thought, even though he clearly wasn't 100% fixed, he only lasted 65 minutes and was taken off, he thought, I need to play him. He's so important. And I was maybe thinking before Bentancur came, how much is really going to change? But judging by that, maybe I underestimated how much of a difference he can make, because when he's at his best, he, as you say, that composure he has is so important. But also, I think his reading of the game is much better than anyone else we have in that position. His ability to pick up loose balls, his ground coverage as well, really, really impressive, especially when he has a partner like Basuma next to him. I think he doesn't get caught out as much. And when you compare that to the likes of Gray, Paulinho, and Bergvall or Gallagher, I think it's much better, to be honest. It's just that football IQ, I think it's really high. So, look, it does make a difference.
Yeah. And alongside him, we're going to go for Yves Bissouma. I think, it's obviously harsh to leave Gray out because he's been on such great form. Bergvall coming back made a real impact off the bench last week as well. But there's something about this kind of pivot of Bentancur and Bissouma, our most experienced pivot as well. They work well together. We saw that in the Europa League run. Ange went to them in the Europa League run when we needed those wins, when we needed to get over the line. And I think De Zerbi's going to do the same. We need these wins, we need to get over the line, and we're going to go for our most experienced players.
Yeah, I think this is the pivot in right now that works best for us, because it just makes us more solid. I think it gives the better protection for the back four. I know Basuma went off on the hour mark last week, but I still think with his ability, if we can just tap into it and get him playing near his best, I think we're much better for it. And I think, again, him and Bentancur together, both quite comfortable on the ball, both willing to turn on the ball, both willing to play the passes forward as well. So it's very, very important. So yeah, I think Basuma retains his place. I know, as you say, you could... I think in a perfect world, you probably go to Wolves and you're like, maybe can we put Bergvall there, or could we put even two number 10s next to each other? But I think in the circumstance that we're in, we have to place a bit of safety first. So I think those two, yeah, they're the ideal.
To make up that third man in midfield, we're going to go for Conor Gallagher. I think he had a much better performance against Brighton than we've seen since he's joined Tottenham Hotspur. You know, what we thought he was going to bring in terms of what he brings off the ball, winning those duels, you know, just getting the ball, just winning the ball back in the middle of the park. We just hadn't seen that from him. He looked so weak in a lot of games since he's joined Spurs. But in this game, it looks as like De Zerbi has really kind of got an arm around him and just got him back to doing his basics and doing what he does best. And I feel like he did that against Brighton. So hopefully he can show a bit more on the ball, be a bit more of a goal threat in this game. But it was definitely a step in the right direction for Conor Gallagher.
Yeah, I think definitely his best game, or one of his best games in the Tottenham squad, maybe second to Man City. The only thing I would say about Gallagher is pressing was great. Obviously, was very involved in the opening goal and all that kind of stuff. I want to just see a bit more of his ability in the final third, which we have seen at Palace. We've seen at Chelsea as well. His ability to get on the end of things, late runs in the box, shots on goal. How many shots has he taken as a Tottenham player? Not many. You know, I can't think of off the top of my head too many shots he's taken. He threatened a bit against Brighton. Like, I remember a couple of times he was like dribbling in the box and just couldn't get the shot away, had like a shot blocked. Hopefully this is the game where we start to see a lot more, I should say, of him in that final third, getting on the ball and, you know, actually being a threat and causing damage, because that is just something that's been surprisingly lacking. I would have thought we'd seen a lot more from Gallagher. Yeah,
because you remember like at that time at Chelsea, in that second half of the season under Pochettino, he was doing so well in crashing the box, those late runs into the box, and actually being a goal threat and showing his shooting ability from the edge of the area as well. I want to see more of that. So Conor Gallagher in the 10. Now, we move on to the front three. Left-hand side, we are going to go for Xavi Simons. Obviously, a fantastic performance. Deserved the win with the goal contributions he provided. You can saw that this guy is the guy that has the X factor in this team. He's the one that can create something out of nothing, provide that brilliant assist for Pedro Porro, provide that goal as well. Proper magic moments, and those moments deserved the win last week. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. Let's hope he can provide them again, you know, because that goal that he scored, nobody in our squad has been able to do that pretty much since Sonny was in his prime.
Yeah, absolutely agree. And I know a lot of people can be frustrated by him. He does sometimes have a loose touch or a bad overhits a pass or things like that. Sometimes he does lack a bit of care on the ball. That's something that maybe with time that would improve that efficiency. He does seem to be a bit of an efficient player, but he is still very young. People forget, you know, only 22. It seems like he's been around for ages, so he should be like really experienced everything. But he is still so young. He's still right at the beginning of his career. So I think for me, what you lose, what you don't get with efficiency and maybe ball security and maybe frustration, you do get with, as you said, that ability at any moment to come up with something, just a little bit of magic, a little bit special, which is something that we've been saying all season we've been lacking. How many times have we said this season, you know, Tottenham have always had a great player in their squad, and at the moment it just doesn't seem like we have any good players. Well, hopefully if we just keep feeding Xavi, we just keep giving him the opportunity, even if he keeps giving it away, you just keep giving it to him, because, you know, if you give him the ball 10 times, he might lose it 9 times, but maybe he'll do something on that 10th time, and maybe that will be the winning goal. So I think it's been a learning curve for Xavi this season for sure, but let's hope in this late run of games he can come into his own now and start really providing those goals and assists, which De Zerbi has been saying in interviews that that's what he needs to be doing. Yeah,
I am a bit worried of the left-hand side of the pitch now Destiny's there, because Destiny does such a good job of stretching the pitch and providing width for the team, which allows Xavi Simons to come inside a bit more and causes damage. But now Spence is going to be on that side. It's going to be a different dynamic.
Yeah, I agree, which is something we've mentioned, but let's hope De Zerbi's thought about it and he comes up with a way of making it work somehow.
Now, the right-hand side, Kolo Muani has played there the last 2 games. Matisse Tell come on both games. First game, didn't make too much of an impact. Second game, I thought he did better than what Muani showed in the last 2 games. What are we thinking? Are we thinking Moani sticks with Moani, or does he go with Matisse Tell?
I think he's going to give Tell a go. I think obviously Moani got hauled off on the 57th minute, was it, against Brighton. I don't think he was too delighted with his performance. He did mention it a bit in his press conference. He said Tell and Moani can both play better, but he said, I'm saying that not because they're playing badly, but because they have more to give. That was kind of his way of saying it. But I think Moani has kind of not really impressed too much over the last 2 games. And I think it's probably time to give Tell an opportunity. As you said, I think Tell did okay. I mean, I don't think he was amazing, but he did probably better than Moani. So I've got a feeling he's going to give Tell a go here. I think he's going to give Tell a go on the right-hand side. And if it doesn't work, maybe he'll haul him off on the hour and bring Moani on.
You know, I've actually got a feeling he's going to stick with Moani, but I'd much prefer to see Tell out there. So let's go for Tell.
Oh, click the wrong thing.
So there we go. Matisse Tell on the right-hand side for potentially his first start under Roberto De Zerbi. Now we move on to the number 9. Richarlison didn't get a minute against Brighton.
Wasn't it?
Started on the left-hand side, didn't he, in the first game against Sunderland. Solanke has started both games. I assume he's going to go for Solanke, but Richarlison should be completely fresh, hasn't he? He hasn't played in 2 weeks.
Absolutely. I think he will go Solanke. I think one of the dynamics that was actually really working for me was Solanke and Xavi against Brighton. I think that will link up really well. I don't think he's going to want to lose that. And also, I think obviously Solanke offers quite a lot outside of the goal threat as well, with his hold-up play and ability. If we do go long, he's more likely to either flick it on or keep the ball rather than Richarlison. I would be surprised if Richarlison gets 0 minutes again. I do think he'll come on, but I think Solanke starts again.
Yeah, I do agree. I wouldn't mind seeing Richarlison start because, you know, he's provided much more of a goal threat and showed much more of an ability to put the ball in the back of the net. And that's what we need. We just need killers right now. I know Richarlison's not exactly the definition of a killer, but he has shown an ability to put the ball in the back of the net. He's our top goal scorer this season, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Richarlison.
Was it 10 Premier League goals, 9 Premier League goals?
Yeah. So I wouldn't mind it, but I
think super sub is a better role for him. In my opinion.
I don't doubt that. Yeah, I agree. I don't mind seeing Solanke start, albeit I don't think he's been great for a while now. But anyway, let's get into this. Let's round up the lineup. We've got Kinski in goal, Spence at left back, Porro at right back, Danso and Van de Ven in the centre back positions. A middle 3 of Bentancur, Bissouma and Conor Gallagher. Matisse Tell on the right, Xavi Simons on the left, Solanke up top. What is your score prediction?
I am going to go with a 2-1 win for
Come
Tottenham.
on!
I think we're going to do it this weekend. I think we're going to get that monkey off our back, and it's going to light the fire that is going to take us to the end of the season.
Don't talk about lighting fires, man. Don't start with the lighting fires. It's going to give us that spark,
bollocks. that bulb it's going to spark. I think we're going to win. I don't think it's going to be easy. We know. I think, in other circumstances, this would be a game we probably win comfortably. But the situation we're in now, I think the pressure's going to be on, obviously, to win. I don't think we're going to, play free-flowing. We're just going to... Free-floating. We're just going to take them to the sword. I think there'll be times we play really good football when we're on a game. There'll be times where we're allowing Wolves back in the game and where the anxiety comes back in. I reckon that we probably go... I'm going to predict we go 2-0 up. Wolves get back in the game. It's a very, very nervy ending. We just see it over the line. But I'm going to go 2-1.
Yeah, look, nothing is an option but winning tomorrow. Nothing. We have to win. We've got Nottingham Forest playing Sunderland tonight. They could easily drop points. Got West Ham playing Everton at the same time. They could easily drop points. Spurs have to do the business, and I'm backing them to do the business as well. I'm going to go for 2-1. We take that same mentality in terms of how we fought and the football that we showed at times. If we take that into this game, you have to win. If you don't beat bottom of the league, already relegated bottom of the league, in the position that we're in, we deserve to go down. That's the reality. So let's go out there, let's win the game, and let's live to fight another day. Because if we lose this game, I think that's that. I really believe that. So let us know your score predictions in the comment section below. Let us know your predicted lineups as well, as we'll move in